Live from Wrestling 911 headquarters, this is Snowman Jones. We have a special guest star today, Deacon Star actually, coming to you, Tampa, Florida. He's in Sarasota area. Deacon Star, how you doing today?
Good, thanks a lot for having me.
So Deacon Star, go ahead and tell me a little bit about yourself. I saw that you were the Sin City superstar, is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. I started in this business in 2001. I was trained by Mondo Ayala, and I don't know if you remember who this guy is. His name's Fennec. He used to wrestle for FCW, Ron Neady's promotion back in the early 2000s.
Okay. So actually, I was a little confused by the name. So you said Sin City Superstar. So have you been out to Vegas and wrestled out in that area?
I have been there many times, spent a lot of time there. I haven't worked any shows there.
Okay, so
I love the area, I love the atmosphere, what it brings, you know, the different kind of feeling in the air. It's just different than anywhere else.
Okay, fair enough. So, may I make a suggestion though? Now, what area are you out of?
I live in Sarasota.
Okay. Because really, you're closer to Sun City. Maybe you should consider changing the name to Sun City Superstar, because I know you're wrestling a little bit in Bradenton. People would like that a little bit more.
Perhaps. So I'll set that under advisement with my creative board.
Yeah, you never know. You put that up to the creative teams committee at FPW, and we'll see what's going on. So you're a Florida pro wrestler, FPW superstar, is that correct?
Yeah, yes, sir.
All right. So today we're going to continue on with our series talking about WWE superstars. We've gone through everyone so AJ Lee, everyone current roster, all the way to Mark Henry. So that leaves us with Mason Ryan, the big muscular monster in the WWE. Do you know anything about Mason Ryan?
Oh, yeah. And I've seen a lot of his stuff. I saw his stuff when he was in FCW. I mean, he's got a great look, just nothing really behind it, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like that the WWE machine kind of said, all right, here. We get the great, he's got the look and everything else, but his ring work leaves a little something to be desired, but other than that, I mean, he had his shot, I guess, like everybody else, and just couldn't pull the trigger.
Fair enough, yeah. I started watching Mason Ryan as well at Florida Championship Wrestling now, which I believe is being called NXT out of Tampa, Florida. And I only got to see him live a couple times. He's got the physique. He's exactly what the WWE is looking for in the next Batista. It's just a matter of him getting the basics and the fundamentals. He may need a couple of years in FCW or a couple of years in a developmental territory or an indie territory for him to really become something that people would want to pay money to have his merchandise.
Oh, I agree completely.
Okay. So next up, and I guess for my ranking for Mason Ryan, because he has the physical but he doesn't have anything else, I give him about a B- if we were going to give him a report card. Where would you put him?
Hey, yeah, I definitely put him a B-, C+.
Okay. So next up we have Matt Stryker. Matt Stryker, an announcer. He's from Bayside, New York, 224 pounds. He did ECW, commentary, host of NXT. He's always on the On Demand channel. Really smart individual. What do you think about this guy?
That right there is a clear-cut example of how WWE is dropping the ball. Matt Stryker can work. He's proven it. He's done ROH. You know, I think he's done some stuff in Chikara. I mean, the guy can work. The guy can get on the mic. The guy can do anything that is needed and is asked of him. Just why won't they give this guy a shot?
Fair enough. Now, I know he worked in Ring of Honor from 2003 to 2008. What are your thoughts on the recent trend that we've had of guys like CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, etc., that have gone from Ring of Honor to the WWE? Do you think that's a good trend? Do you think that's pulling good people out of the indies? What are your thoughts on it?
My personal thoughts on that is that gives a lot of guys like me hope. That gives the people who, you know, bust their tail driving, you know, hundreds and thousands of miles for, you know, for very little money. It definitely gives them the sense of, hey, it may not all be for nothing. You very well could get your shot. You know, CM Punk, prime shining example. You know, Daniel Bryan, yeah, I would give him that. However, I mean, look at his pedigree. You know, I mean, that the guy was, you know, trained by Shawn Michaels. The guy's done a whole bunch all around the world. It's only a matter of time, I thought, before he got his shot. It was just a question of plan.
Right. Okay. So, Matt Stryker, what do you give him as a grade on his report card?
I got to go B+. Matt Striker is very good. I like Matt Striker's stuff.
Yeah, I'll give him a BB+. I don't think he's where he needs to be yet. He doesn't have the charisma that it takes to really just sell millions of T-shirts, but he's got the in-ring ability. And the thing I really like about Matt Striker, and I think he's being very well utilized as an announcer, frankly, is because he has the knowledge and history of wrestling where he can sit down and he can tell a story about what happened in the 70s and 80s, even if he wasn't there. And that's something that's very rare. I think he's got more background in pro wrestling than a Michael Cole, who's also serving the announcing role. And, you know, unfortunately, they let Michael Cole wrestle more matches than they let Matt Striker wrestle.
Yeah, that's quite a shame. It is a real shame if you sit back and think about it.
Right. Okay, so next up, we have Michael Cole, real name Michael Cole Tarden. For folks that are just joining us or just listening in, again, Deacon Star, Florida Pro Wrestling superstar, the Sin City superstar has joined us today. So you're going to give your opinion on Michael Cole.
My opinion on Michael Cole is who can get a read on this guy? It's like he wants to pander to the crowd one minute, he wants to go against the crowd the next. It's just a real shame what they're doing with him and what they're doing, and maybe that could be something simple as, oh, I'm just going to wing it, but I don't think that's how it works. It's just that they just need to keep him one way.
Right.
I think a lot of people are going to get confused. I know I've been confused many times seeing him commentate matches. Then again, commentating will never be as good as it was when you had Tony Schiavone, you know, Jim Ross, even all going back farther, you know, with the grace of Gordon Soley. You know, it's just that he's just not, and he won't be.
Yeah, and you know, the interesting thing about Michael Cole that a lot of people don't realize is that he has been with World Wrestling Entertainment since 1997. So he's definitely paid his dues. He started off as kind of a backstage interviewer, etc., etc. He's been with the company. He has the longevity, and he apparently gets along with people, or else they wouldn't have promoted him to this level. Because that's something that people don't realize, is that you can't be a complete douchebag behind the scenes and make it in the WWE. A lot of times you see very talented people, and they get cut from the roster, and people question, why did that happen? And usually, you know, when you meet them outside of the ring and you talk with them outside, you realize they're not that sharp of a person. So as a business professional, he's probably fine, but I'm not a fan of his announcing work. And for Raw, like you said, he's confusing. I don't know why. I don't really understand why. Sometimes he's a heel, sometimes he's not, and why. I don't buy him as a heel, and I really don't buy him as a face. I would rather see somebody else, even a Matt Striker, get a chance to do the play-by-play, although Matt's more of a color commentary type of person.
Absolutely.
And frankly, I greatly have, and I've always admitted to being a Joey Styles mark, so I certainly missed the time frame of Joey Styles doing the announcing on Raw. I think Joey Styles and Heyman would be my heaven, but I know Heyman has some demons behind the scenes to where they don't want him in front of the microphone all the time.
Joey Styles is definitely in a league all his own.
Yeah, he's amazing. So I give Michael Cole, my personal opinion, just because he doesn't appeal to me, I give him a C, C-.
Yeah, I gotta give him a C-, and that's being generous.
Yeah, and I think he could be a decent behind-the-scenes kind of interview segment type of person, on-demand type of person, but they've given him way too much responsibility for somebody that I just don't like to listen to, frankly. And I'll probably meet him someday, and someone will tell him about this, but for right now, not my favorite personality in front of the camera.
Agreed.
Okay, so next up, Michael McGillicuddy, Joe Hennig. What are your thoughts on Double M?
That guy, I don't think he got it. I think they were starting to move in the right direction with him, and then the ball just kind of got mixed, or maybe he just fell into the shuffle. I mean, his stuff in the Florida Championship Wrestling was decent. I mean, the guy can obviously work. Will he ever be as good as his dad? No, but let's face it, none of the third generation wrestlers are.
Right.
You know, I mean, you've seen it countless times, and I think if given the proper, direction, I think he could have done something good. Would he have been as good as, say, Dolph Ziggler or somebody else who came up from Florida Championship Wrestling? No, but I think that's also partly his fault. I don't think he puts, enough effort out. I think he just does whatever he's told, and he's content collecting his payday and doing what he's got to do.
Yeah, it's interesting. Joe Hennig, for a guy that, has been was in FCW for a good 5 years or so, and was basically getting paid to work out in the gym and, you know, practice matches and teach people. He had 5 years to get in shape, and for whatever reason, he just doesn't look like he's had the ability for the last 4 or 5 years to hit the gym 6-8 hours a day. Like, he's in good shape, but he doesn't, you know, he's not big like Larry the Axe. He's not in the kind of shape that Kurt Hennig was in. I'm not sure exactly what happened with him.
He just doesn't have the charisma that his daddy had. I mean, that's for sure. I mean, like it or not,
yeah,
looking the part is not enough. And
right.
Anybody who tells you it is stupid.
Yeah, and frankly, it's not.
Have it all.
It's not that he's super young. He is 32, 33 years old. He was born in October 1979. So, you know, if you don't make it by your 30s in wrestling, it's starting to be time to think about maybe you need another career, because he's just kind of breaking in his 30s, and few people, I guess Kevin Nash really started to make his name in the WWE when he was in his late 30s. Dave Bautista was probably 41 when he broke into the WWE, but not maybe late 30s. Someone will correct my stats, but I don't know. He's pushing his limit. He's getting a little bit older, and he hasn't really developed the way Larry the Axe and Kurt Hennig would. And I think they missed the boat, like you said, a little bit. You know, they pushed a Kurt Hennig DVD, this and that, and he just wasn't ready to be in the WWE at the time, because that would have been his time to shine.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
So I'll give him maybe a B-. He's a good athlete, nice guy. He's just not quite there yet.
I'd give him a C.
Okay, fair enough. Now, next up, alphabetically, and this is probably the last person we'll have the opportunity to talk about on this episode of Wrestling 911 Audio, which you can find our YouTube channel, youtube.com/911wrestling. The last person would be The Miz, who is also currently the Intercontinental Champion, which frankly, I don't know that the belt is worth as much now that there's 2 heavyweight championship belts out there. But what are your thoughts on The Miz?
I like what he does. And again, I'm a huge Nick Bockwinkel mark as it is. So all you're seeing Nick Bockwinkel brought into the new century, you know, with people like The Miz and Jericho and things like that, although The Miz will never be anywhere close to a Jericho. But his ring work has gotten better. His attire has gotten better, you know, from when he first came out, you know, in the dicky shorts and the gloves and everything else like that. And well, now he's got real legit gear, and it's like, okay, well, this guy, you know, is starting to do something. WWE was pushing him for a little bit. Overall, I'd say that if there were more people with his kind of drive, I like the drive that he gives. I just don't think that they give him enough credit.
Okay. You know, I guess I have missed the boat with The Miz. I took a little bit of a break from watching WWE, and when he really got his big run in the WWE, it was after I wasn't watching. I was watching TNA for a while, and I don't know, like I saw him on Tough Enough, and I thought he was okay. I saw him do kind of some of his other shows, Battle of the Network Reality Stars. I saw him do Fear Factor, Identity, Ghost Hunters. I watched him on Psych. Smarter Than a Fifth Grader he was on, I think, too. But I just never saw him. Wasn't he was he WWE champion, or was he just Intercontinental champion? It seemed like he had a real big push at one point.
Yeah, that he did in fact become WWE champion, and he successfully defended that title at WrestleMania, no less.
Wow.
Against John Cena, so you know,
that's right.
Right off the bat, if he's doing that, then he can't be doing something completely wrong if they're putting that on him.
Yeah, so he's certainly got a push. I think he was even ranked like #1 in the PWI 500. So I see, like, he has talent, but I just feel that he's been pushed more so than he would have in different eras. Like, he was, you know, to be a WWE champion, he's not in the same league as a Hulk Hogan, a John Cena, The Rock, Steve Austin. It just seems like he's Intercontinental quality, and too often it seems like they're trying to polish him up and make him heavyweight champion quality.
Right, which I completely agree. I don't know why they put the world title on him. A title holder, absolutely, couldn't agree more. Top dog wouldn't necessarily go that far. Fair
enough. Okay, folks, we're at 15 minutes, so we're gonna end this show. Again, we had Deacon Starr, the Sin City Superstar, and maybe he'll join us for another episode in the future.